Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Chaitanya Charitamrita overview class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा। Welcome everyone. We are discussing from Chaitanya Charitamrita and we are on fourth chapter entitled Confidential Reasons for Appearance of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this chapter, so far we have discussed Kaviraj Goswami describing that there are the external reasons for appearance of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is to take away the burden of the earth, and there are internal reasons. Premras Niryasa Karite Aswadan Ragamarga Bhakti Loke Korite Pracharan, to relish himself the love and to spread the Raga Marga Bhakti. So in response to these internal reasons, Kaviraj Goswami describes that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why he appeared as a devotee, because he wanted to experience what Srimati Radharani is experiencing. And in response to that, he explains in detail the Radha Bhava. What is the position of Srimati Radharani? What is she representing? She is the Ladini Shakti. And the various attributes of Radharani is described by explaining this verse: Devi Krishnamayi Prokta Radhika Paradevata, Sarva Lakshmi Mayi Sarva Kanti Sammohini Para. So he describes in detail all these things, and then he describes how Radha and Krishna, they are one. Radha Krishna Ekatma Dvideha Dhari Anyonya Vilase Rasa Aswadana Kari. So Radha Purna Shakti, Krishna Purna Shakti, Radha Purna Shakti, Krishna Purna Shaktiman. So Radharani is the embodiment of the potency of Krishna, Ladini Shakti, and Krishna is a potent. So therefore there is no difference between Radha and Krishna. And then he described how Krishna is Rasika Shekhar and he has so many qualities. And then he describes how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he wanted to experience three things. There are three reasons. So first reason was Sri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima. What is the greatness of Radharani's love? To understand that, Lord appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Second, to understand and taste his own sweetness. Madhya Adbhut Madhurima. So many wonderful qualities I have, and I am not able to taste my own qualities. So Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, taste his own qualities. And then in this next section, we are discussing the third desire, that is Saukhyam Chasya Mad Anubhavataha, to taste Radharani's happiness. So we have completed till 85 verses. So we'll continue from 86. So where Krishna is thinking. So Kaviraj Goswami is describing what is the competition which happens between Krishna and the gopis. You know? So in the 85th verse, he says, 86th verse. So when gopis they see Krishna, you know, they derive unlimited bliss. And although they have no desire for such pleasure, but still they experience lots of bliss. That is the key of Krishna consciousness. When you experience the happiness, when we serve Krishna, although a devotee is not interested in getting that happiness, but still he becomes more than happy. When we are actually serving Krishna in, you know, pure motive, without any personal motivated interests, then we experience a very high level of pleasure. So the gopis, they derive 10 million times greater pleasure than Lord himself. So Krishna derives pleasure by seeing the gopis, and gopis derive pleasure which is 10 million times higher than Krishna. Although the gopis, they are not inclined for having such pleasure, but they are experiencing, and their joy keeps increasing. And this is what attracts Krishna. This is what makes Krishna very, very uh, inquisitive. And Krishna is thinking, I am not able to see any solution for this. The joy of gopis, they lie in the joy of Krishna. So for devotees, they experience happiness when Krishna is happy. They are not interested in any of their personal benefits, personal happiness, but still they are more happy. So Srila Prabhupada writes that the position of the gopis is very perplexing. Although they do not want any personal happiness, but it is imposed on them. You have to be happy. So this is very interesting. Completely opposite to the material world. In material world, everybody wants to be happy, but they are not able to be happy. That's what Prahlad Maharaj is telling to his friends. Sukham indriyakam daitya dehinam deha yoginam sarvatra labhyate daivad yatha dukkham mayatnata. Although you get happiness, but why to struggle for that happiness which is very, very flickering? Tat prayaso na kartavyo yatha ayu vayaparam na tatha vindate shemam mukunda charanambujam. Aspire for that which is not available in 14 planetary systems. That is Mukunda Charanambhujam, the lotus feet of Krishna. So devotee naturally becomes joyful and blissful, although he does not want it. It is imposed on them. You have to be happy. That is very, very interesting and amusing. Devotee says, I don't want to be happy. I want service. Krishna says, no, you have to be happy. That is the nature. Although Krishna also gets confused. How is it possible? They don't want happiness, but still they are more happy. So therefore, the reason is that because the gopis, they are interested in giving pleasure to Krishna, and because when Krishna is served, Krishna becomes more happy, and seeing the joy of Krishna, the gopis become more happy. So that is a constant competition which is going on between who will become more happy. So therefore, Prabhupada writes, the devotees, they try to serve, devotees in Vrindavan, they try to serve Srimati Radharani and all the friends of Srimati Radharani. And if one gains favor of the gopis, then automatically Krishna's favor is achieved. Krishna has to give happiness, has to give devotion to a person who is recommended by Radharani and the gopis. So therefore, we have to endeavor, we have to struggle to get the recommendation of the gopis. So we may be thinking how to get recommendation of the gopis. They are so exalted, we cannot even think about their exalted behavior. I am fallen in this, in my anarthas. That's why the gopis, they came as the gopis and the manjaris, they came as Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and all the Goswamis to show us the path by which we can get their recommendation. Therefore, we are called as Rupanugas. We are following in the parampara of Rupa Goswami, so that we can get the recommendation of Rupa Goswami. That is what we need. That's why we are called as Rupanugas. And Rupa Goswami, he is the one who has understood the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale. So that is the understanding. If we want to get recommendation of the gopis, then we have to get recommendation from the previous acharyas. We cannot directly jump on. So therefore, Kaviraj Goswami is describing that when Krishna, he sees the gopis, his joy increases, and seeing the joy of Krishna, the joy of the gopis increases. Gopis think, oh, Krishna has become so happy seeing me, I'll become more happy. Because the joy which gopis experience increases the beauty on their face. This general experience, when somebody is happy, he looks more beautiful, more attractive. So the more one becomes happy, the more one becomes attractive, more one becomes, effulgent. That's why Srila Prabhupada, many people would come to Prabhupada and tell, Swamiji, your devotees are bright-faced. They are so effulgent. Prabhupada said, yes, because they are happy in Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada would tell, I have made hippies into happies. That is how one becomes beautiful. Beauty is not just external beauty. The beauty is the joy which is there in the heart. That makes one beautiful. That makes one attractive. So therefore, the gopis, when they become joyful and happy, their bliss increases, their beauty increases. And then seeing the beauty of Krishna, the gopis, Krishna becomes more happy and his beauty increases more. In this way, competition is always there and nobody acknowledges defeat. Neither Krishna's beauty nor Gopi's beauty. Both keep increasing. There is transcendental competition going on between both of them. And therefore, Krishna derives such pleasure from the qualities, from the beauty of the gopis. When Krishna sees his devotees manifesting good qualities, he is more than happy. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, we see that Krishna again and again, he lists down the qualities which a devotee should have. Because the qualities attract Krishna's attention. Starting from the second chapter, then it comes again and again. It comes in the fourth chapter. It comes again in the ninth chapter, 11th chapter, 10th chapter, 12th chapter, 13th chapter, 14th. So many chapters describe the qualities of a devotee. 15th, 16th. Amanitvam, madambhitvam, mahimsa, shantirarjavam, acharyopasanam, shaucham, stairyam, atma vinigraha, tulya ninda, sutirmauni, santushto, yena kenachit. So many qualities are described because Krishna wants that we should develop these qualities. Krishna is attracted by the qualities of a devotee. So therefore, when the gopis, they are showing so many wonderful qualities, Krishna becomes more happy. And in this way, the competition keeps increasing. So we find that the joy of the gopis nourishes the joy of Krishna. And Kaviraj Goswami says, therefore, there is no lust in this relationship. Because lust means I want my own pleasure. But here there is no expectation for personal pleasure. So there is no lust. Atmendriya priti vancha tare boli kam, Krishnendriya priti ichha dhare prem naam. If you desire to satisfy your own senses, that is lust. And if you desire to please Krishna, that is love. So Prabhupada writes that this competition between beauty of Krishna, beauty of the gopis, and Krishna's beauty, it goes on increasing, and there is no comparison of this. But sometimes mundane moralists, they think this beauty to be, this competition to be amorous. Ordinary dealings between a boy and girl, but it is not at all mundane. Because mundane relationship is based on personal sense gratification. Spiritual relationship is based on the person's another sense gratification, not me. I don't own anything. So therefore, Kaviraj Goswami is telling that this relationship has no love, no lust. And then he quotes a verse where Krishna, he is enjoying the association of the gopis. And then he tells, actually, I'll tell you, there is one more symptom by which you can find there is no trace of lust in this relationship. Gopi preme kore Krishna madhuryera pushti, madhurye badai prem hayya mahatushti. So the love of gopis, gopi preme, the love of gopis, kore Krishna madhuryera pushti. The love of gopis nourishes the sweetness of Krishna. The madhurya badhai, and the sweetness of Krishna in turn increases the love of the gopis. And they are very much satisfied by that love. So therefore, we have heard earlier also that gopis and Srimati Radharani devotees, they are called ashraya. They are the abode of love. And Krishna is Vishaya. He is the object of love. He receives all the love. So therefore, the happiness of the abode of love, the happiness of the gopis, Ashraya Ananda. What is the Ananda of Ashraya? The happiness of the abode of love is the happiness of the object of love. When Krishna is happy, then the devotees are happy. There is no consideration of personal sense gratification. So therefore, there is no lust in this relationship. There is completely, this love is completely selfless. And then he gives an example. Nija premanande Krishna sevananda bade, sevananda badhe, se anandera prati bhaktir hoye mahakrodhe. So very interesting. He says, Nija premananda. Sometimes, devotees, when they are serving Krishna, they experience ecstatic features, ecstatic emotions. Swed, kampa, romanch, ashru, gadgad, vaivarnya, unmad, vishad, garva, harsha, dainya. Eta bhave prema bhakta ganera na chaye, premer anandashru sagare bhasai. So devotees, they are drowned in the ecstatic emotions. Sometimes crying, sometimes trembling, sweating. So sometimes, Nij Premananda, when devotees are experiencing such ecstatic emotions, their service is hampered. Krishna Sevananda Badhe. So then what is the reaction of the devotees? They condemn those ecstatic emotions. Seyanandera pratibhaktira hoye mahakrodhe. They become angry on these ecstatic emotions. Go away, you are hindering, you're stopping me to serve Krishna. The ultimate purpose of any relationship in this world is I should be happy. But the gopis and all the great devotees of the Lord, they are not interested in their own happiness, although they are experiencing unlimited happiness. But when that happiness starts obstructing the service, they become angry on those emotions. And then example is given of Daruka. So this verse comes in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, where Rupa Goswami is describing that one time Krishna was being fanned by Daruka, and seeing the beauty of Krishna, Daruka goes into ecstasy. He's crying, tears are spontaneously coming out. He's not able to stop his tears. And because of that, his limbs were getting stunned. Just like when Krishna plays flute in Vrindavan, the entire Vrindavan, every person, every plant, every animal becomes stunned. Even Jamuna stops flowing. Deers hear the flute with their ears raised. The trees stop moving. निज सम सखा संगे गोगण चारण रंगे वृंदावने स्वच्छंद विहार यार वेणु ध्वनि सुनि स्थावर जंगम प्राणी पुलक कंप अश्रु बहेधार. Everybody starts spontaneously shedding tears. So Daruka, seeing the beauty of Krishna, starts trembling. He cannot hold the chamara properly. His eyes are full of tears. And that obstructed his service, obviously. He was not able to fan, he was not able to see, his limbs become stunned. So, he is condemning those emotions. Go away, you are stopping my service. Similarly, Srimati Radharani also experiences such emotions. And she also condemns the tears which come out of her eyes. And then Kaviraj Goswami describes a series of verses from Srimad Bhagavatam, where Kapila Dev is telling to Mother Devhuti that my devotees, they give up their personal sense gratification for my pleasure. They do not want anything. They do not want even liberation. And famous series of verses come from the 3rd canto, 29th chapter. Mai guna shruti matrena mai sarva guhashaye manogatiravichinna yatha gangam bhasam ambudau. Madguna shruti matrena. When my devotees, they simply hear about me. Mai sarva guhashaye. I am residing in everyone's heart. And when the devotees, they hear about me, what happens? Manogatiravichinna. Their minds get attracted. Just like the Ganga, helplessly goes towards the ocean. Nothing can stop a devotee from going towards Krishna. As Kunti Maharani also prays, Tvai me ananya vishaya matir madhupate sakrit rati mudvahata madha gange vogham mudanvati. Nothing can stop Krishna. Nothing can stop a devotee from going to Krishna. So their minds, the devotees' minds, helplessly get attracted towards Krishna. Just like the Ganga flows towards the ocean. So many obstacles will come, sometimes pebbles, sometimes mountains. But Ganga will find the way. Similarly, in our process of devotional service, so many obstacles will come. Sometimes health problems, sometimes family issues, relationship problems, so many things will keep coming. But Yatha Gangam Bhasam Ambudau. You have to become like Ganga. Whatever may happen, my mind will go towards Krishna. I will take my mind to Krishna. In our conditioned consciousness, it is a conscious effort. It is not natural like the pure devotees. Consciously, we have to do it. Because if we allow our mind to, wander, naturally it will take us to the lowest of the consciousness. That is the conditioned state. If we allow our mind to wander, it will take us to the lowest of the levels. But consciously, we have to take our mind to Krishna. Slowly, we have to practice it. So Prabhupada writes, it is a technique we have to learn. It is a technique, it is an art we have to learn. It is not going to happen automatically in a day. One day you get up in the morning and your mind naturally gets attracted to Krishna. No, it is a constant endeavor. Constantly, every day, you have to endeavor. Then, seeing our consistent endeavors, Krishna will bestow that mercy one day. Consistency pleases Krishna. So we have to show our consistent endeavors to serve Krishna, to please Krishna. And then we'll receive mercy of Krishna. Mai Sarva Guhashay. Krishna is seated in everyone's heart and he understands this person is really hankering to come close to me. He really wants to come out of the anarthas. Because sometimes we may pray something, but we don't, show it in our actions. Oh Krishna, please give me taste for holy names, but we are not chanting attentively. We are not trying also. Then Krishna will say he's not taking it seriously. He's just speaking, lip service, that's all. Oh Krishna, please give me taste for Bhagavatam, but he's not taking Bhagavatam in his hand. He's not reading. He's not showing, he's just praying. So we have to show our endeavor also. Lakshanam bhakti yogasya nirgunasya hi udaritam ahetukyavahita ya bhakti purushottame. Lakshanam bhakti yogasya. What are the characteristics of devotional service? Nirgunasya. Devotional service is free from the modes of material nature. Ahetuki, without any personal motivations. Apratihata, it cannot be interrupted. Ya bhakti purushottame. This is the devotional service we have to perform to the Purushottama, the Supreme Lord. Whatever may happen, our bhakti should not get compromised. Ahetuki and apratihata bhakti is the only way to please Krishna. Why I am serving Krishna? Not to get something in return. I am serving Krishna to just please him. Ahetuki. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam. Anya abhilashita shunya. I don't want anything in return. That's what Prahlad Maharaj is telling to Narsimdev. I don't want anything. I am not a businessman, oh my lord. I have not practiced bhakti to get something from you. So therefore, Kapila tells, if my devotee, he will not even accept any of the 5 types of liberation. Salokya sarishti samipya sarupya aikatvampyuta diyamanam na grihananti vina matsevanam jana. Even if he is given 5 types of liberation, forget about Sayujya. Sayujya is not in question only. Devotees are not interested in Sayujya. Merging into Brahman, even if they are given personal liberation, getting a chance to stay in the same planet where Krishna is staying, having the same opulences as Krishna, even getting close association of Krishna, same bodily features of Krishna, they will not accept if there is no service. Service is the only thing which a devotee is interested in. Otherwise, I don't want to go anywhere where there is no service. That is the prayer of Hanumanji. He's praying, oh my Lord, please always keep me in your service. I don't want to get liberated. Bhavabandha chide tasyai sprahayami namuktaye bhavan prabhur aham dasa iti yatra vilupyate. I don't want to get liberation from this material existence. Bhavabandha chide tasyai sprahaya. I don't want liberation. I don't want cessation of material existence. Bhavan prabhur aham dasa iti yatra vilupyate. If there is no service, if you are not my master, I am not able to serve you, then what is the use of liberation? It is all useless. So these are the verses, 3rd canto, 29th chapter, 11, 12, 13 verses. Mat sevaya pratitam te salokyadi chatushtayam nechanti vipkala vipluyat nechanti visevaya purna kutonyat kala viplutam. Mat sevaya. My devotees, their desires are fulfilled just by serving me. Mat sevaya pratitam te. So, Salokya Adi, all the Chatushtayam, the four types of liberation, na icchanti, they do not desire. Why? Sevaya Purna, they are satisfied with service. Service is the only pleasure of devotees. That's all. If there is no service, then for devotee it is useless. पाययार आज्ञा धन ब्रजेर वैष्णवगण बंदोतार मुख्य हरिदास चैतन्य विलास सिंधु कल्लो लेर एक बिंदु तार कणा कहे कृष्णदास. So Kaviraj Goswami is telling Payayar Agya Dhan. So this Agya is Dhan. It is a wealth of devotee. Seva Dhan. It is a wealth of a devotee. So the devotees of Vrindavan, they gave instructions and requested Kaviraj Goswami, please write about Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Brajera Vaishnavagan Bandotara Mukhya Haridas, and among all those Brajvasis, the foremost is Haridas, the head priest of Govinda Dev. And that's why I'm writing. And therefore he says, this pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are the treasure of the devotees. And if I don't do this service, then devotees will be bereft of this treasure. So devotees are not interested in anything if there is no service. Kuto anyat kala viplutam, then what to speak of all the pleasures of this world which has a beginning and has an end. Devotee is not interested even in liberation. Then what to speak of the pleasures of this world? That's what Prahlad Maharaj is telling. Ya nirvritistanubhritam tava pad padma dhyanad bhavajjana katha shravanena vasyat sa brahmani swamahimanyapinatma bhu kintvantakasi lulita patatam vimanat. So this is Dhruv Maharaj is praying this. Oh my Lord, I am experiencing such bliss and satisfaction in your service. Ya nirvriti. Nirvriti means satisfaction. Tava pad padma dhyana bhavajjana katha shravanena vasya. The association of your devotees, hearing Harikatha in the association of your devotees is giving me such pleasure. Sa brahmani swamahimanyapinatha bhut. Even Brahma Sukh is insignificant. Then what to speak of the heavenly pleasures? Kim tuvantakasi lulita patatam vimanat. What to speak of the heavenly pleasures which has a beginning and has an end? Devotees are not even interested in Brahma Sukh. Kama gandhahina swabhavika gopi prem nirmala ujjvala shuddhayena dagdhahem. So therefore, the love of the gopis is free from any of the lust. Nirmala, Ujjvala, Shuddha. It is pure, faultless, and bright. Just like the molten gold, Dagdhahim. Molten gold is free of any of the impurities. Similarly, the love of gopis doesn't have even a trace of lust. And then Krishna Kaviraj Goswami explains the role of the gopis. So Krishna is saying, these gopis, they are everything for me. Krishnera Sahaya Guru Bandhava Prayasi Gopika Haina Priya Shishya Sakhi Dasi. So gopis, they are everything for Krishna. They are Sahaya, they are helpers. They are teachers. They are friends. They are relatives. They are wives. They are disciples. They are confidential associates. They are everything for Krishna. So Krishna is himself telling to Arjuna, it comes in Adi Puran. Krishna is telling, oh Partha, I do not know what these gopis are not for me. These gopis are everything for me. They are my teachers. They are my helpers. They are disciples, servants, friends, consorts. They are everything for me. So gopis, they only desire Krishna's service, and they experience such satisfaction in serving Krishna. And one beautiful verse comes where Krishna is telling to Partha again in Adi Purana, Man mahatmyam mat saparyam mashraddha man manogatam jananti gopika sarva nanye jananti tatvatah. O Partha, the gopis, they know mat mahatmyam, they know my greatness. It is not that gopis were not aware of who is Krishna. They were aware. Krishna is the Paramatma in everyone's heart. Gopis are telling in Gopi Geet that this Krishna is there in everyone's heart. Akshila Dehina Mantaratma Drik. It is not that gopis are not aware, oh, this Krishna is an ordinary boy. No, they know. Krishna is Paramatma in everyone's heart. They know my greatness. They know how to serve me. They know how to respect me. They know what I want. They know my mentality. Manogatam. So the gopis know everything about me. No one else knows. Only gopis know about me everything. And among all the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the best. So that is a sevak. Sevak means he knows how to serve the master. So there are various types of sevaka. First class sevaka means before even telling, he understands the mood of the master and does things. Just like Lakshman and Lord Ram, Sita, when they went to forest, Lakshman, without even telling, he made such beautiful kuti for Ram and Sita. And Ram, he was surprised. And he asked, oh, how did you know? He said, yes, I know your heart, O Lord Ram. And that's why when Sumitra, when Lakshmana was going to forest with Lord Ram, he went to meet Sumitra, and Sumitra said, oh Lakshman, please don't get absorbed in seeing the beauty of Lord Ram. You are going for service. Consider Lord Ram as Bharat, as Dashrath. Consider Ayodhya. Consider forest as Ayodhya. Consider Janaki as me. And it's in this way, go and serve Lord Ram. Ramam Dashratham Viddhi Mam Viddhim Janakatmajam Ayodhyam Atamim Viddhim Gachatata Sukham Tatah. So he knows the heart of the first class servant, knows the heart of the master. And second class servant, when he's told, he does things. Third class servant, if he's told, he asks 10 questions. क्यों करना है, ऐसा ही क्यों करना है, ऐसा भी कर सकते हैं. And fourth class servant, he has no faith and he does not do it. So the gopis are first class servant. They know the heart of Krishna. And among all the gopis, sei gopi guna madhye uttama radhika रूपे गुणे सौभाग्ये प्रेमे सर्वाधिका. Among all the gopis, Radharani is the best. Rupe, Gune, Madhurye, Saubhagye. In beauty, in qualities, in fortune, in love, Radharani is the supreme. And then the famous verse comes from Padma Puran. यथा राधा प्रिया विष्णो तस्याम कुंडम प्रियम तथा सर्ववैदेषु से सर्वगोपीषु सैवैका विष्णोरत्यंत वल्लभा. Just like Radha is dear to Krishna, her bathing place Radha Kund is also dear to Krishna. Sarva Gopishu Sevaika. She is the most beloved of all the gopis. Vishnu Ratyanta Vallabha. So that is the position of Srimati Radharani. And therefore, Krishna is telling to Arjuna, O Partha, in all the three worlds, this earth is specially fortunate because Vrindavan is there. And Krishna wanted to come to this world. So Krishna has to take his associates, he has to take his abode, he cannot come without them. Just like a president cannot go alone. Krishna comes with his abode also. And among all the gopis are glorious, but among all the gopis, Radharani is especially glorious. Sorry. So he's telling, Trailokye Prithvi Dhanya Yatra Vindavanam Puri Tatrapi Gopika Partha Yatra Radha Bhidamama. So Vrindavan is the most fortunate place. And this earth has become most fortunate because Vrindavan is there. Of all the three planetary systems, earth is fortunate. And in the earth, Vrindavan is fortunate. Why earth is fortunate? Vrindavan is there. Why Vrindavan is fortunate? Because Krishna performed pastimes there. Krishna has, put all his footprints all over Vrindavan. Vrindavanam Sakhi Bhuvo Vitanoti Kirtim Yadevaki Sutapadam Bhujalabda Lakshmi Govinda Venumanumattamayura Nrityam Prekshadrisanvaratanya Samasta Sattvam. Vrindavanam Sakhi Bhuvo. Oh gopis, this Vrindavan has increased the glory of Mother Earth. Why? Hare Devaki Sut Padambuja. The footprints of Krishna is everywhere. That is the glory of Mother Earth because Vrindavan is there. And another feature, why earth is glorious and fortunate, because gopis are there. And among the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the supreme. And all the other gopis, they help Srimati Radharani in giving pleasure to Krishna. So the gopis, they are instruments of the mutual enjoyment of Radharani and Krishna. They support Krishna and Radharani. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, there are 5 types of gopis. First is Sakhis, Parama Preshth Sakhis, Prana Sakhis, Priya Sakhis, and Nitya Sakhis. So Parama Preshth, there are 8 Parama Preshth Sakhis, the most intimate Sakhis. And then there are Priya Sakhis. There are 64 Priya Sakhis. So these Priya Sakhis, they are of 2 types. Krishna Snehadhika and Sama Snehadhika. There are some Sakhis who are more inclined to Krishna. And there are some Sakhis who are equally inclined to Radharani and Krishna both. Then there is another category, Nitya Sakhis. And the 5th category is Prana Sakhis. So these Prana Sakhis are very important, especially for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So these Prana Sakhis, they exist only for giving pleasure to Radharani. That is their only desire. Their purpose is to bring Radharani close to Krishna. They do not want any personal reciprocation from Krishna. They are just happy and satisfied keeping Radharani in front. And these Prana Sakhis are called as Manjari. And all the Goswamis, they have come, they are the Manjaris of the spiritual world. And they have come in this world to give this Manjari Bhav. where one does not accept anything for himself or herself, only desires to serve Krishna, keeping others in front. Not me, somebody else should come in front. I will stay in my service, I'll do my service in the background. I don't want to come in the front. I am not interested in my own glorification. I want to serve Krishna. Let other devotees be glorified. Because that is what Krishna also likes. Krishna likes to glorify his devotees. Krishnena Adbhuta Karmana. The most beautiful feature of Krishna is he is the performer of very, very wonderful acts. The most wonderful act of Krishna is he wants to glorify his devotees. He wants to keep his devotees in front. So therefore, all the Goswamis, they are the foremost of the Manjaris from the spiritual world. Rupa Manjari, Lavang Manjari, Raghunath Das Goswami is also Manjari. All the Manjaris have come to give us this Manjari Bhav. So therefore, these gopis, these sakhis, they are just interested in serving and assisting Krishna and Radharani. And Radharani is the beloved consort of Krishna, and without her, the gopis, they cannot give pleasure to Krishna. Because if Radharani is not there, Krishna is not happy. And what is the proof? Because Krishna in the Rasalila, he left all the gopis and he went with one particular gopi. Sukadeva Goswami doesn't mention the name, but Acharyas and other Puranas describe that is Srimati Radharani. Anayaradito nunam bhagavan aririshwara. Anayaradito nunam. Because this gopi has served Krishna so nicely. Yanno vihaya govinda pritoyam manayadraha. Therefore, he left all the other gopis and took her. So that is Radharani. And that is the mood of Krishna. And then he says, Lord Chaitanya is that same Krishna who has appeared taking the mood of Srimati Radharani because he wants to experience and understand what is the happiness of Radharani. All these gopis, they are experiencing such happiness. I want to experience this. Se Radhar Bhavalaya Chaitanya Avatar Yuga Dharma Nama Prema Koila Prachar. So, Sri Radhar Bhavalaya. Taking this mood of Srimati Radharani, Krishna appeared as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what he did? Yuga Dharma. He spread this Yuga Dharma, the dharma for this age. What is that? Nama Prema Koila Avatar. The congregational chanting and the love of God. So he gave us two things. He gave us congregational chanting of the holy names and he gave us pure love. Sankirtan Yagye Tare Kore Aradhan Saita Sumeda Ar Koli Hatachan. Therefore, anyone who serves Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, serves Krishna by this Sankirtan movement, he is the most intelligent and everybody else is Kali Hatajan. They are all afflicted by Kali Yuga. So therefore, taking this mood of Srimati Radharani, Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna, he appeared as Srimati Radharani, as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to fulfill his own desires. So the three desires we discussed, that is the principal reason of the appearance of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he is the same Krishna who enjoys amorous pastimes with Srimati Radharani. And that's how Krishna experiences such pleasure when he is in association of Srimati Radharani. Having the association of, Srimati Radharani gives pleasures to all the limbs of Krishna. All the transcendental limbs of Krishna becomes enlivened by having darshan of Radharani's beauty, by touch, by fragrance, everything enlivens Krishna. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has come to experience this taste. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Gosai Rasera Sadan Ashesha Vishesha Koila Rasa Aswadan. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the abode of all the rasas, he tasted these sweet mellows which Srimati Radharani is experiencing, you know. And therefore, he initiated this dharma of Kali Yuga, that is chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Who knows all these truths about Lord Chaitanya? Only devotees. Who are all devotees? Kaviraj Goswami names few of them. Advaita Acharya, Nityananda, Srinivas, Gadadhar Pandit, Sarup Damodar, Murari Pandit. So all these devotees, they know the truth about Lord Chaitanya. Therefore, Bhakti Bhave Shire Dhari Sabara Charan. With devotion, I keep my head at the feet of each and every devotee's lotus feet. Bhakti Bhave Shire Dhari Sabara Charan. Going down with devotion. So after describing this, he says, okay, I've just given the hint of the sixth verse. Now I will reveal the meaning in detail. So ये खाली trailer था अभी तक. Now he is going to explain in detail the sixth verse of Adi Leela, first chapter. Shri Radhaya Pranay Mahima Kidrisho Vanayaiva Swadyo Yena Adbhutamadirma Kidrisho Vamadiya Saukyam Chasya Madanubhavata Kidrisham Veti Lobhat Tadbhavadhya Samajani Shachigarbha Sindau Harindau. This is the sixth verse of the first chapter, which describes the internal reason for appearance of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is that? Krishna wanted to experience the emotions of Srimati Radharani. Sri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima. Three things to understand the glories of the love of Srimati Radharani. Swadyo Yenadhut Madhurima, to experience his own sweetness. And Saukyam Chasya Madanubhavata Idrisho Veti Lobha, and to experience the happiness which Srimati Radharani feels when she serves me. To experience all this, Krishna appears as Shachigarbha, from the womb of Shachi Devi. And then Kaviraj Goswami describes beautifully who can understand and who cannot understand these confidential conclusions. Very interesting. Ei sab siddhanta gudha kahite na yuyaye na kohile ke iha anta nahi paye. Ei sab siddhant, all these conclusions about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, nobody can understand. Kahite na yuyaye, although it is not fit to disclose this, because it is very, very confidential. But if I will not speak, nobody will understand. Nobody will understand this. So therefore, what Kaviraj Goswami is giving us, it is unavailable. It was unavailable, and it would remain unavailable if he would not have given. It would have remained like that. But Kaviraj Goswami, he has given us the glimpse of what is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, he tells in the Madhya Leela, Yeba nahi bujhe keha shunite shunite seha kiyadbhuta chaitanya charita Krishna upaji be priti jani be rasera riti shunile bada hoye hita. Even if you don't understand anything, just keep reading, because anyways it is very difficult to understand Chaitanya Tattva. Kahite na yuyaye, nobody can understand. It is very difficult, unfit to disclose in public. And in spite of all this, many people, when Kaviraj Goswami was writing, many people would, criticize. यदि के अहिना को ए ग्रंथ कैला श्लोकमय इतर जन नारी बेबुझिते प्रभु रे या चरण से कोरी वर्णन सर्व चित्ते नारी आराधिते. So Kaviraj Goswami writes in Madhya Leela, if somebody says that what type of book you have written, so many shlokas you have put, how will normal people understand? So he says, what is my fault? I am just writing what Kaviraj Goswami is, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has done. भागवत श्लोकमय टीका तार संस्कृत होए तबु कई छे बुझे त्रिभुवन इहा श्लोक दुई चारी तार व्याख्या भाषा करी कई छे न बुझी बे सर्वजन. So he's saying, Are Bhagavatam full of verses, commentaries also in Sanskrit, and whole world is understanding, and you are telling me, hey, who will understand this book of yours? अरे यहाँ श्लोक दो चार तो श्लोक लिखा है उसमें. And on top of that, I have given Bengali translation of that verse. Kaichana bujibe sarvajan. So Kaviraj Goswami is trying his best to reveal those conclusions which are unfit to be disclosed in public. It is very, very secret. Nigudha Chaitanya Lila. But Kaviraj Goswami is like a very, very compassionate preacher. He says, if I will not speak, who will understand? ना कोहिले केह इहार अंत नहीं पाए, कोई नहीं समझेगा बोलूंगा नहीं तो, you know. So therefore he is telling again and again that I am writing, although I am not supposed to write this, but I was instructed by the devotees, I was instructed by Madan Gopal, Shri Govinda, Shri Chaitanya, Shri Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Shri Bhakta, Shri Shrotra Vrinda. All these devotees, they instructed me, please write. And there is one more personality. Har ek hoye te hoti kripa kare. Who is that? Shri Madan Gopal More likhaya gya kori. Kohite na yuya etabu rahite na pari. Madan Gopal gave me instruction, please write. Therefore I am writing. You know, please don't think that I am arrogant. Na kohile hoye mora kritagnata dosh. Dambha kori boli shrota nakari harosh. Oh, please don't become angry on me. Don't think that I am proud, I am arrogant. No. I am just following the instructions of my superiors. I am just following the instructions of Madana Gopal. If I will not do it, I'll become, responsible for being a ungrateful person. Na kohile hoye mora kritagnata dosh ho jayega. Ungrateful. Therefore, he says, Toma Samar Charan Dhuli Korimu Bandan Tate Chaitanya Lila Hoila Ekichu Likhan. Therefore, he's begging, please, all the Vaishnavas, please give me your blessings so that I can write something. So this is very, very difficult topic to understand, but I was instructed. And that's why I'm writing, because if I will not write, nobody will understand this. अतएव कही किच्छु करिया निगूढ़ बुझिबे रसिक भक्त ना बुझिबे मूढ़. So he's saying, therefore, although nobody can understand, I am writing just essence of everything. I shall mention only the essence. I will not explain detail. अतएव करी किच्छु कहिया निगूढ़. I'll write the essence. And you know what is the benefit of that? Bujhibe rasik bhakta na bujhibe moodh. Only devotees will understand. Foolish people, they will never understand. They will never understand the pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So who is qualified to understand the pastimes of Mahaprabhu? Very important to understand. हृदये धरये चैतन्य नित्यानंद ए सब सिद्धांत से पाइबे आनंद. Anybody who takes the feet of Lord Chaitanya and Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu in their hearts, they will experience pleasure hearing these pastimes. These conclusions will give pleasure to only those devotees who have taken the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu in their hearts. Others will not be able to appreciate it. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, they are our saviors, and that's why we have some hope. And that's why we have to catch hold of the feet of the Lord with great zeal. That's why Brahmaji is telling, whatever he's telling to Narad Muni, that whatever I speak never proves false. My mind never deters from his path. My senses never go towards sense gratification. Why? Because I have caught hold of the lotus feet of the Lord with great zeal. न भारती में अंग मृषोपलक्ष्यते न वै क्वचिन्मे मनसो मृषागति न मे ऋषिका निपतन्त्य सत्पथे यन्मय हृदौत्कण्ठ्यवता धृतो हरि यन्मय हृदौत्कण्ठ्यवता धृतो हरि. I have caught hold of the lotus feet of the Lord with great zeal. So therefore, if we want to understand the conclusions of the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, we have to really pray to Lord Nityananda Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Catch hold of the lotus feet of the Lord by our sincere practices, by sincere chanting, sincere hearing, and service to the devotees. Hridaya dharaye ye Chaitanya Nityananda say sab siddhant say paibe ananda. They will experience joy hearing such conclusions, because the pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are like, the juicy mango. Ei sab siddhant hoy amrera pallav. They are like amrera pallav. They are like the mangoes. Bhakta gana kokilera sarvada vallabha. And the devotees, they are like the kaku. They are experiencing the rasa of these pastimes. So therefore, these pastimes, they are very, very secret, confidential. Nobody can understand them. And if we want to understand, we have to really be serious, sincere, and without ulterior motives. Then we'll be able to experience. Who cannot understand these pastimes? Those who are camel-like people, they will never understand. So we'll stop here. We'll continue from here next time. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anybody has any questions? Okay, I just explained what is Manjari. Manjari are those who are, they are a particular type of Sakhis who are only interested in bringing Radharani close to Krishna. They are not interested in any personal happiness. They don't want personally to enjoy with Krishna. They are happy to keep Radharani in front. That is Manjari Bhav. Okay, so any other questions? Okay, camel like non-devotee. So we'll be discussing, okay, we'll describe this. So who is not? So Kaviraj Goswami says, he described first who can understand, who is qualified to understand the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. Those who are like the kakus, the birds which take pleasure in the sweet mangoes. Those who have caught hold of the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda in their hearts, they can understand. Who is not qualified to understand the pastimes of Mahaprabhu? Abhakta ushtrera iha na paye na hoye pravesh tabe chitte hoye mor ananda pravesh. Kaviraj Goswami says, people who are like camels, they will never understand. Why he is telling about camels? Because Bhagavatam says there are various types of people in this world. Swavid varahoshtra kharai samstuta purusha pashu nayatra karna pathopeta jatu nama gadagraja. So there are people who are like dogs, hogs, camels, and asses. So we'll not go into the detail of all these, but here the word is used ushtrera. There are camel-like non-devotees, they can never understand. What is the speciality of the camel? Camel likes to eat thorns. And when he's eating thorn, the blood comes out and he is tasting his own blood and he is thinking, wow, this thorn is so sweet. Non-devotees, they are experiencing such pain trying to enjoy, and they're experiencing so much problem, so many miseries. They're like thorns, they're pricking them, and they are getting little pleasure out of it. The sense pleasure, little bit of sense pleasure they are getting. Actually, they are drinking their own, tasting their own blood, and they are thinking, wow, I'm happy. Such people who are addicted to sense enjoyment at the cost of their own life, they are risking their human life to enjoy sense pleasures. That is a camel-like devotee, camel-like non-devotee. Non-devotees who are camel-like, they will never understand Mahaprabhu. And therefore he says, Tabe chitte hoye more ananda pravesh. That's why I'm happy. So Kaviraj Goswami is telling, I'm little skeptical because I am telling those things which are not to be told in public. But why I'm telling? Because anyways ये लोग समझेंगे ही नहीं. अभक्त उष्ट्रेर होए ना इह प्रवेश, ये anyways नहीं समझेंगे. इहा लागी कोहिते भय से यदि ना जाने, इहा वा कहिबा सुख आछे त्रिभुवन. I was scared because these people, they will criticize, but if they will not understand, then why I should be fearful? I was fearful because I didn't want to speak because of these people, but if they will not understand, what is the problem? I'll speak. That is giving me greater joy, greatest joy. And therefore he says, therefore after offering obeisances to all the devotees, I shall speak without hesitation. That is the abhakta ushtrera, the non-devotee who are like camels. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so I think there are no questions. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shila Prabhupada ki jai.